Okay, let's solve a mystery that I'm pretty sure drives every single one of us crazy. You spend good money on super fast Wi-Fi, you see these incredible speeds on the box, but the speed you actually get, yeah, it's anything but super. So, what is really going on? Let's dive in.
Right. This is the core question, isn't it? Why is there this giant gap between what's promised and what you actually experience? You get this brand new router home, you're all excited, you run a speed test, and instant disappointment. It's time to figure out why.
And I'm not kidding when I say the gap is huge. Look at this. The box might scream an insane number like 5,300 megabits per second, but then your real-world test clocks in at 455. I mean, that's not even 10% of the advertised speed. So are the router companies just lying to us? Well, not exactly. The truth is a lot more interesting. And here's the first big plot twist in this whole story. We all immediately blame the router, right? We just bought it, it must be the problem. But the real bottleneck, the thing that's actually holding your speed back, is almost never the router itself. The real culprit is, well, it's a lot closer than you think. That's right. The problem, more often than not, is the device you are holding in your hand right now. Your smartphone, your tablet, your laptop, even your smart home gadgets. They are the weakest link in the Wi-Fi chain. And it doesn't matter how amazing or powerful your router is.
And you don't have to take my word for it, just look at the evidence. A Ring camera from 2023 sounds pretty modern, right? But underneath, it's running on Wi-Fi 4, technology that came out in 2006. Or take a recent Galaxy tablet. It only has a single antenna, which puts a hard cap on its top speed. It doesn't matter if your router is a Ferrari, if your device is basically a moped. Which brings us to a really simple but critical rule. A Wi-Fi connection can only ever be as fast as its slowest part. Think about it. Your router might be a highway with a 100-mile-per-hour speed limit, but if your phone is a moped that can only go 30, then the entire conversation is stuck going 30. Your speed is always dictated by the least capable device of the two.
Okay, so if that big flashy number on the router box isn't the whole story, what actually makes Wi-Fi fast? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the two technologies that really matter for speed. First step is MIMO. It stands for multiple input, multiple output, and it's absolutely brilliant. Instead of needing more airwaves, which are super crowded, it uses multiple antennas to send and receive several streams of data at the same time. The analogy of adding extra decks to a highway is perfect. You get way more lanes and capacity without taking up any more space. And you can see how this works. Each level of MIMO is basically a speed multiplier. A single stream gets you about 433 megabits per second. 2 streams, that doubles it to 866. But, and this is the big catch, even if you buy a super powerful 4x4 router, most phones are only 2x2. Why? To save on costs and battery life. So, right out of the gate, your phone can only use half of what your router is capable of. The second big speed booster is something called channel width. So, if MIMO gives us more highway decks, channel width decides how many lanes your data can use at once. Using a wider channel, say 80 or 160 megahertz, is like a wide road truck taking over 4 lanes of the highway. It can just move a massive amount of stuff way faster. So now that we get the tech, let's talk about the single biggest, most important factor that impacts your Wi-Fi every single day. There's one unbreakable law that you just can't get around. So what do you think it is? Is it walls, interference from your microwave, your neighbor's network hogging all the channels? You know, all those things matter, but there is one factor that stands head and shoulders above all the rest when it comes to killing your speed. Distance. It really is that simple. The farther you get from your Wi-Fi router, the slower your connection is going to be. And it's not a gentle slope either. It's more like a cliff. You can think of this as the fundamental law of Wi-Fi. It's just physics. As the signal travels through the air and through walls, it gets weaker. To stay connected, your phone and router have to switch to a slower, simpler signal. It's kind of like trying to shout a complex sentence across a loud, crowded room. The farther away you get, the simpler you have to yell just to be understood at all. And this chart just shows it perfectly. When you're in the same room as the router, your speeds are great. Now move just 1 room away. Look at that drop. 2 rooms away? Forget about it. The speed has absolutely fallen off a cliff. That right there is the tyranny of distance in action. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem.
It's not just your router, it's a combination of your device's capabilities and, most importantly, your distance from the signal. But the good news is, this is fixable. So let's talk about your action plan. Here's a super simple 3-step checkup you can do. First, for anything that doesn't move, your TV, your game console, your desktop PC, use an Ethernet cable. It is always going to be faster and more reliable. Second, if you really want to solve the distance problem, add a wired access point. And third, you need to learn how to find your device's real connection speed. I'm serious. Adding a wired access point into the room where you need the most speed is the single best upgrade you can possibly make. It's like building a brand new on-ramp to the Wi-Fi highway right where you're sitting. It directly solves the distance problem, and it's so much more reliable than most mesh systems, which often just end up repeating an already weak signal. And finally, here's a pro tip for you. Go dig around in your phone or laptop's Wi-Fi settings. Look for something called link speed, or PHY speed. PHY stands for the physical layer. This isn't a speed test to the internet. This is the actual raw speed your device has negotiated with the router. This one number cuts through all the marketing nonsense and tells you the truth about your connection's potential. So the next time you're getting frustrated with slow Wi-Fi, just ask yourself this. Is the problem really that expensive router you just bought? Or is it because you're sitting 2 rooms away using a brand new phone that's secretly a moped trying to drive on a super highway? Now you actually know how to figure out the real answer. Thanks for joining me.